With Iris Show. That's right. Welcome in. Welcome back, folks. It's a feel-good Friday. And nothing makes me feel more good than airing out some grievances. And I have a list of them to go over today. Listen, this is the last week. It's the last week before we get into the actual football again. So it's just, I got a list of a few things that are bothering me to different extents, different levels of seriousness. And one philosophical Notre Dame thing here that I want to ask the crowd that I've been thinking about. And it does relate to these green jerseys. And there's just something I'm going to put out there and just see where our collective minds are at on this jersey reveal, the green jersey and the leprechaun on the side and some of that stuff. So, and then but I'm going all over here because there's a few things that are bothering me that I want to go over that I'm going to touch on. So it's a feel good Friday, and feeling good for me includes yelling about stuff. So like, I know that's counterintuitive. I know that's counterintuitive for a lot of people, but I have the yelling makes me feel good. So let's get into this. This is it, you guys. We're in the final countdown. You're in the final countdown. Football is going to be back. So let's clear the deck, air some grievances, and then we'll get into the actual football stuff. Open up your heart, let that hate out. Don't be afraid, Jasper. ND9. You got to put the interlocking ND back on the sleeves. Oh, we'll get there. Don't worry. Johnny Boy's going to get there real quick. I'm going to get there. It's bothering me. I'm losing sleep over it. And you're going to have some patience. You're going to have to hear me out. But I have a specific grievance or two about those green jerseys. So you guys are hilarious. Nature boy. It's good. Nature fanboy, Big Red. Woo. Telling you. It's just, I got a soft spot in my heart for Ric Flair. What was I? 19 years old, something like that. And Dr. John, good to see you, buddy. So I'm like 19 years old. We're on summer break, whatever, from school. And we used to go to Myrtle Beach for summer vacations back then and have some family in the area, whatever. So we go down there. We take a boat to some mystery island out in the water somewhere where you just like drink and no one cares what you do. And there's almost no one around. And we're doing our thing. And out of nowhere, this huge boat comes like speeding into the little port there. And there's no one else around. It's super quiet. So this huge boat, kind of like Caddyshack, when Rodney Dangerfield has the huge yacht, and you scratch my anchor. So this huge boat comes flying in, and you hear like music bumping, and this huge boat and this huge wake, and it comes in the dock. There's ladies in various stages of being clothed and unclothed, dancing around on the top deck. Okay. And this boat pulls in and we're like, dude, these people like to party. Like, what is going on? So there's all these girls, some of them, their tops are on, they're dancing. There's a bunch of them, they're partying, and it's Ric Flair. Rick, the nature boy himself, stumbles out of that boat. I'm telling you, I'll never forget it. It was just like, have you ever been like, are the rumors you hear about these celebrities true or whatever? I'll never forget it, man. 19-year-old John, and I'm watching that boat come in. I see them girls dancing. And I'm like, who is the captain of this ship? And it was Ric Flair himself. Woo! He was wheeling, dealing, and kiss stealing that day. So I love myself some Ric Flair, man. Never change, Rick. Never change. Slick Rick, take a ride on Space Mountain. You ain't first, but you could be next. Woo! As always, you can find the program on YouTube. We're already off to a rip-roaring start. As always, you can find a program on YouTube. Do it, subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps Johnny out as well. Notifications on that way. Yeah, you ain't nothing. That's what I should have told him, Go Canes. You ain't nothing but a captain of a sinking ship. It wasn't sinking, but there was a lot of drinking. I'll put it that way. That's for damn sure. It wasn't sinking, but there was a lot of drinking. Twitter, search bar, Always Irish, rat, Always Irish Shake. Emails, alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only. Anywhere you want it, you can get it if you're sick of my face. Although it's going to be hard to avoid for the next 7 months. That's that they like, you can do audio only in these little bits to get away from me. Oh, I'm telling you though, I can't wait. Once we get into our regular season routine, oh, I can't wait. It's like 7 months of 7 days a week content. I can't wait for it. Everybody's ready for it. We just need football back. America's ready for it. America's ready for it. We need football back. It's healthy for the country. Football hate is the truest form of love that there is in this country. It brings us together. In a weird way, football hate brings America together. If you really think about it, like it sounds weird to say, but I'm dead serious. Football hate brings America together, and I'm here for it. So I can't wait. I mean, in this area, you're looking at the prospect of Notre Dame and the Bears both being expected to be really, really good. And you could have the Cubs and the White Sox both in the baseball playoffs. Like, it could be a very, very busy fall. It could be a very busy fall around here. So I'm excited. Adam Dowling. John, what do you think about the cartoon on the jersey? Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there in a real quick second, okay? Notre Dame on SI. Read all about it every day of your life. Patreon.com/Always Irish. We're going to have some new content offerings. We're going to have a promo going out during the run up to the season. You'll get that. We're going to have announcements. We're going to have at least one new person breaking down content with us. Somebody that I think you're all going to value their opinion and know their history in the Notre Dame ecosystem. So it's going to be a big year over on the Patreon. So when we get right close to camp, we'll start sending some information out. You guys will see and hear everything we got going. So that's what's up. But I got a few things that I want to go over today. Yeah, Sly. Good one. Let's do a couple of your chats. Beezer's a new one on the, I might bring Beezer in before I start yelling. He's a new one. He's in the chat a lot, but I don't remember him joining on air. So I got to get him up quick. He could go on with his life, not make him wait. Commander. Good morning, Notre Dame Nation. I can't believe Notre Dame decided to add that stupid looking leprechaun patches on the sleeves of the uniform. Bavak would do a good job of destroying the uniforms. Correct me if I'm wrong. It should just be a one-game thing. That's just the green jersey thing, not we're doing the leprechaun thing even on the blue, right? Somebody, please reassure me that's the case. You're going to go to the interlocking ND, and they're just doing that for the green jersey thing. Come on now. Jay Carr. Would be sick to have John's AI image from the YouTube thumbnail on the sleeves of the jerseys. I'd buy one. Yeah. SoFi brought to you by Always Irish. And it's just me yelling, turning like red like Kelly. Slip. I could care less about that uniform as long as they beat Stanford by 70 points or more. I'll never forget the cheap shots, the laughing on the sideline, the goofy look of Luck out there. The thing, you know what, man? Telling you. The further away from last year we get, the more mad I am about the scheduling of that Stanford game at like 3 a.m. And I'm exaggerating a little, but honestly, not by much. It really seemed like a choice of like the last thing we're doing on the last game is giving Notre Dame a primetime spotlight to impress or like have people want to see them in the playoff. You could argue there was all these other games they had to schedule, and like it's Stanford, so it's not going to move the needle. You got to schedule. I understand why they're doing it. I'm just telling you, you got Notre Dame in a playoff chase with one more game they got to win, and you put that game past midnight. That's a choice, man. That's a choice. So I don't like that. I don't like that. That's a choice. And I don't like Stanford's behavior in that contest either. Okay? I don't. But I don't like that, oh, it's 2 a.m. for Notre Dame to try and impress the committee. I don't like it at all. Seemed intentional at the Irish. Tony, rise and grind. Last Friday without football for a long time. We made it, you guys. We made it. It has been a long ass grind. Remember when they put Notre Dame on the Pac-12 network? Like, Brian says, I'm okay with the cartoon in the all greens. It better just be for that one. Priester doesn't get the hate that Singer does, yet one of them was calling for Miami to get in the playoff and one of them wasn't. Hey, everybody's in there. It's just weird. Everyone kind of has their own little like silo. Like you're all doing Notre Dame coverage, but like everyone has their own feel and their own little group and their own little vibe. And it's actually pretty cool. It's a healthy ecosystem. How everybody has like their own little like silo, and then their people and like these themes that emerge. It's really interesting, actually. It's really interesting. So I don't know. Yeah, Andrew Luck's just a weird guy, man. He's just being a weird guy. So I don't know. It is what it is. I love Signetti calling out the SEC for being crybabies. Listen, I guess if anybody's allowed to run their mouth about anything, then it's going to be the guy that just won the championship. It's really hard to push back against that. You know what I'm saying? Jeezy Pete's, look at this. MJH Irish 84. I'm back, Johnny boy. A heart attack and 4 stents later, I'm ready for a new season. I came in with 1966 and 77 and 88. I really like to hang on for another one. I got to tell you, MJH Irish, I'm glad you're still with us, but I got to question how good Notre Dame football and this show's going to be for your heart. You kidding me? Like, I wish you the best, but it's just, I'm not sure that watching Notre Dame football and this program is going to be best for that heart line on the radar monitor. Son of a buck, man. That's tough. That's tough, man. Jeez. Love you. I'm glad you're back. But seriously, take care of that. Watching me might be bad for your blood pressure, man. I'll give up a view if it keeps you upright. I feel bad about it. ND9, just my opinion. I think John Kennedy's enough without anyone else added. ND9, you're a real one. Nothing wrong with growing the brand, though, except for the trolls. Yeah, we're going to add somebody that you'll all know from past Notre Dame life. That's my little hint. That's my little hint. Tony, just booked 4 flight tickets for the family to come to the SMU game. Looks like I'm eating ramen for the next 3 months. Yeah, that'll get you. Hey, there's a really strong possibility. There's a really strong possibility SMU's in playoff contention, and that game matters a lot more than it just kind of looked at the beginning. If you look at their schedule, there's a real chance SMU's in the playoff hunt. And that could be in Notre Dame's benefit. Like in one way, you're like, oh man, that means we're playing a good team late. But on another way to look at it, it's like you didn't have anything on the back half of that schedule last year to really move the needle. Notre Dame could beat everybody by 50, and you weren't beating anybody that was any good. ESPN tried to sell America that Narduzzi and Pitt were real. They tried their hardest. I'll never forget the day before that game, I was at the gym. Half of SportsCenter was Narduzzi. They were live at Pitt. They were interviewing Narduzzi, talking about the Notre Dame game. Half of that SportsCenter was live from Pitt, and they were building up Pitt and talking about how good they were and everything. Never, ever, ever let anybody sell you Pitt is good. It's unbelievable. But they sold the hell out of that Pitt was real. Played Notre Dame, no chance. Play Miami, no chance. They're one of those pain in the ass teams in the second tier that'll get you if you mess around a lot, and that's it. But I remember being at the gym that Friday, looking up at that TV, and just they were live at Pitt, and they're interviewing Narduzzi, pumping up Pitt. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Always Irish and a person from my past. Miss Cleo, does anybody remember that? God, Liam, we're getting so old. Do you remember the commercials? She had the whole thing on her head and everything. Call Miss Cleo for your future love life. John won the Tyler Buckner bidding war against Goldman Sachs. Yeah, that's for sure. That's what happened. That's definitely what happened. So I got some things that I'm going to probably yell about. One of them does involve the jersey, but let's get Beezer in here. That's a new one. I want to get him. Beezer, what's going on?
What's going on? Hold on. Let me be like the sausage king of Chicago. Let me show my face right here. There we go. Frawley is not afraid to show his face. Neither am I. Let the trolls come. I got some grievances I want to air out too. I used to call in a lot, by the way. I was 615 Make It Live, but I started teaching, so I had to. I can't call in, in the middle of class and be like, hey, what's going on? I have to actually educate. But my first grievance.
Priorities.
Okay. My first grievance is I'm just going to go ahead and address it. It's negativity. There's not a lot of negative, there's not a lot to be negative about. And I get that some people are just perpetually negative. You saw me jawing with Commander Luke in the chat earlier. I don't get the constant bitching and moaning about just oh, this, oh, that. There are some things that are legitimate concerns. Everybody talks about the wide receiver room. Yeah, I have no idea what the wide receiver room is going to look like. Notre Dame has never proven to me. And I was born in 1998. I've never seen, outside of Jeff Samardzija, Miles Boykin, maybe Chase Claypool for a half a season. I have never seen, well, Michael Floyd too, but those guys, Golden Tate, those guys kind of go without saying. I've never seen a consistent wide receiver room like Alabama, LSU, Ohio State. Never seen that. I would love to know what's going on. But outside of that, we can be pretty sure that Notre Dame's going to do good this year. I mean, the schedule's not that hard. You have Notre Dame players and Marcus Freeman saying we need to start better. September's on their mind. I think they're going to come through September unscathed. If they don't, God help us. Seriously, God help us. The Always Irish is going to be filled with trolls. You're probably going to have a heart attack in 4 stints like that guy in the chat. I mean, it's going to be hell. I can't even imagine what it would be like. But that's the thing is I'm not going into the season crying about it, scared about it. I feel very confident in this team. But, I mean, it's just constant negativity. That stuff drives me up a wall. When there's things to be negative about, the NIU game, I was pissed drunk and I threw a chair across the yard. I was so mad. My wife, she was so embarrassed. God love her. But she was I was trying to explain to her, she's not a big football fan. I was this is a program-defining loss. I was Michigan lost to Appalachian State, and they were set back years, maybe even a decade. Yeah. And so, I understand negativity right there, but before the season starts, I absolutely
all right.
I can't take it.
Beezer, number one, congratulations to you for improving the nation's youth and doing that as a life path. If you can't call, but we educate some kids, that's a win. But okay, take this another step. Mm-hmm. Ask yourself, why do you think some of those people lean negative do you think I'll give you some options. Maybe you agree with some of them or none of them.
Okay.
Do some people just want the attention of being contrarian and causing a scene in a chat or on a show or whatever, and they want the attention and being objective, subjectively negative is a way to get a light on you and raise your profile by getting attention? Or do you think some people have the scar tissue They really, really love Notre Dame. They want us to succeed, but they've been burned so many times. They would rather lean on the negative than to have their hopes up really high and get brought down, and it really hurts. So like what do you think is causing the people that are always kind of negative?
I mean, of course it's both. I mean, it has to be both. I mean, I think that, I would say it's probably like a 70-30 split. The 70 being the people that are like, probably like you, John, you're like hurt. You want to see, you don't want to love too much. You're scared to get burned again. I'm sure in 2018, just like how I was feeling, you're like, oh, we might actually do this. 12-0, 2020. Oh, we might do this. 2012. Those are my big years. I can't remember 2006 that much. That was the first year I really got into football. I mean, I was only 8, but I definitely feel like that's the majority. But especially you attract a lot of trolls. You're a big personality. This. You attract trolls, and I think that a lot of the times in your chat, you get more of the contrarians, the people maybe just wanting to cause something, they don't actually believe it, or somebody who just wants to be a contrarian for the sake of a contrarian. Like they just want to have that differing opinion. Like, for instance, I give him hell in the chat sometimes, but like Andrew Gilmore, I think that he is one of those people that is afraid to get hurt again. You know what I mean? Like he's not being a contrarian for that. So I think it's more of like a split. I don't think that we have a lot of contrarians, but of course they're all out there. I mean, everybody, you can tell them the sky is blue, and they'd have a different answer for it. I'm like, it's a light teal this morning. So you got to brush those people out of your life. You can't feed the trolls. Unfortunately, we do a lot of feeding the trolls around here. I'm real bad about it because once you give them attention, they're like under their little bridge and like, yeah, Marcus Freeman, DEI hire, stuff like that. And you just can't. That's water off a duck's back, baby.
Yeah. It's and I do try to allow a little more rope than most shows do, and some people like that, and some people hate that. But I honestly do like enjoy some of it because it gives you like something. It's a balance, and sometimes people go too far or say something, need to go in timeout or like whatever. But it's just like, but I do like, I find it entertaining to an extent, and so, but I do try and give a little more leeway than I think a lot of people do for dissent or like going at me or whatever. It's just,
well, you're the voice of the people. That's what this is. The show. This is where the people come out, and you give them a platform to either complain or to be hype or anything like that. So I mean, it's just the nature of the beast at that point.
Yeah, and then you're also dealing with two different subsets of people. There's the Notre Dame people that are, some of them are positive, some of them are negative, like whatever it is. So there's that. And then when we get in the season, that's where we have the other fan bases coming in when we lose, whatever. And then that's a whole different subset. And I do look at them different because I know they're one hitter quitters, want to see me miserable that night when we lose. So that's a very different thing than our regulars that troll.
It breaks my heart to tune into this show, to see your face on a losing, like the first instant, like when you cut on and it shows your camera after we lose. I'm just like, bro, I feel it. It hurts me. Oh, it's awful. I mean, but I think there's not going to be a lot of that this year.
I'm going to tell you this. The hardest content I ever do is the live show right after a loss, because it's 1 second after the game and you have no time to like process it yourself mentally or emotionally. Yeah. And you're live 1 minute after the game and you're like you're going through it live. That is the hardest ever is for me, is 1 minute after a loss. There's just no time to process how you want to go about it, and you're just in it. So like, that's hard.
Yeah, more power to you. I couldn't do it. I've wanted, like, I live down here in the South. I'm in Tennessee. I was born and raised, and so like I got a lot of like friends that are like Tennessee fans or like SEC fans, and the minute like, which I don't text them when like Tennessee loses because it happens all the damn time. Like it's like, okay, yeah, this is another week for me. But when Notre Dame loses, I mean, all the texts come to me, and I just like, I get very defensive about it because, like I grew up in the South, so like it was normally there's not a lot of Catholics down here in the South. So when somebody's criticizing Notre Dame, shortly after they'd criticize like Catholicism. So like I take it pretty personal, and
Yeah.
I've like I'll lash out at the wrong people. So I try not to do that. So now I just like if Notre Dame loses, I'm like whatever. I kind of like just don't respond or anything like that. But I know what it's like to get hit with a bunch of people immediately wanting to see your reaction. And now I just realized it's a compliment because it doesn't happen that often. Notre Dame was losing every week. Nobody would care,
It's true.
So, I mean, when Notre Dame loses those once in a blue moons, everybody's going to be in your face about it. And it is what it is. It's not
And you
normal.
know what else, too? Here's the other part of that. Not only does it not happen that often, but when it does happen, it's either one of the biggest games of the year, right?
Yep.
Or a game Notre Dame should never lose. So either one of those types of losses is going to really move the needle too.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it is what it is, man. But I love, I love kind of being that target. And when we're riding a high, this is like you're floating on cloud nine and we're in here.
Oh, it's amazing.
And the vibe, there's nothing better. But when it's bad, man, like you have no choice when it's bad, but to just let it cut you deep and feel it, man.
Yeah.
And you just got to work through it. You got to feel it out. So what are your thoughts as camp's coming? We got a week away. What's your main thought here?
I mean, my first thought, number one, is excited. I was very excited going into 2022 camp because we had a new coach, and I haven't felt that excitement. I think I was kind of close to that when we had Sam Hartman because I, like many of us, was like, dude, Sam Hartman went off at Wake Forest. He's going to go nuts at Notre Dame. Unfortunately, that just didn't pan out. I think I wish Sam Hartman had Mike Denbrock. We maybe would have seen something different. I really, truly believe that. But he didn't really have the receivers either. I mean, a lot of Sam Hartman's shortcomings were on the receiver room. But so, like, before camp starts, I want to see, is Quincy Porter, is he healthy? Is Jaden Greathouse healthy? But unfortunately, the media is getting, like, what, one practice?
Yep.
I really feel for the media because I'm like, they just want to see. So I don't know if that's like, I don't know how Jim Tressel handled the media. So I don't know if like Marcus Freeman's just copying what Jim Tressel did and what other people do when it comes to that. But the media access is just getting like shorter and shorter every year. So I don't really know what. I mean, of course, that first day of camp, we're all going to overreact because we're all going to see only. Nobody's wearing pads. We don't know what's going on. Oh, Quincy Porter dropped this ball right here. Oh, so-and-so's they're not wearing a helmet. They're on the bike. So I really don't know what to expect from camp, but I'm really curious to see how the wide receivers are looking. And then I want to know, I can tell you, I do not give a rat's ass about QB2 battle. It means nothing to me. A lot of people are putting a lot of stock in that. I don't care. If we get the QB2 playing a lot of snaps this year, God help us, because CJ Carr went down. So I really don't care. That's for next year. But I don't know. What are your thoughts at camp? What's got you excited?
I wonder if people will agree with this. I think that boundary receiver Porter dynamic, it's like one of the top storylines coming into camp of everybody wondering exactly where that's going to fall. Yeah. I think a lot of it is health stuff, like with Porter, and then like everyone just wants to like see where KVA's at right when we start out, like where. Yeah. So I think some of it is like checking in on that. I wonder if people would agree the wide receiver thing and the boundary thing might be the biggest question we want answered. Like I don't know. Like I think so. There are some questions like in the secondary, people want to know like Christian Gray's role and anybody playing on the away from Leonard Moore. Are they going to be able to hold up? Like, I think that's a question. But like you said, I think there's going to be some frustration through August because the media is not going to get a lot of access.
It's like one practice, right?
Yeah, the first practice, so it's the one they do the least in. So then it's like, well, like how much information are we going to get and where's it going to come from? Like Notre Dame will put out little clips they want to highlight, but then are you relying on guys that aren't there but have a source in there that tell them what allegedly happened in August? It's just going to be interesting with the media not having that much access. And again, I don't blame Freeman for that. You can do whatever you want to do with access or not. That's up to them.
Yeah, that is true. Well, one of the things that I think that they will do, I think they did this in the spring. Maybe it was fall camp last year, but I think it was the spring where they had like a spur of the moment. They're like, hey, media can come to this practice. the night before. And so I know some of the media members were frustrated because they're like, all right, let me try to get down there. So I think they may have a few of those. I don't know why they're being so guarded. And I think part of it, now this is me projecting. I do not know what's going on in Marcus Freeman's head, but I think part of it is a little bit of frustration over what happened last year, and you're just like really guarded now, and you're guarding off yourself and your team, because I think that Notre Dame really put themselves out there last year in ways that were not. I mean, they weren't like Miami and everybody else crying about it, but they had to jockey for their position. And I don't think Freeman really enjoyed doing that. And that's not something Notre Dame does. I mean, it's not the SEC. And like, while we're on the subject, the difference between Steve Sarkisian and Marcus Freeman and their accountability is absolutely hilarious to me. And it's something about these USC guys. You got Lincoln Riley, Steve Sarkisian, just crying. Lane Kiffin's crying. These guys they're
Yeah,
I can't think
it's
of a better
funny.
word. I'm trying not to get too
But
too
they
mad
all
over
got
here,
some
but
USC in them. They all got some
yeah, they
USC
do.
in them.
They got that Caleb Williams nail painting with them, and God help me, I'm a Bears fan. I hope he does good this year, but yeah, I don't know. This constant like complaining about like, oh, it's the committee. You have not heard Marcus Freeman one time say it's the committee's fault. It's our fault.
Yeah.
And I love that. And I like, it's one of those things where you like, does good really be, I mean, this is football, but so like, it's not really good versus evil, but like, does hard work and accountability really pay off? Or all these people taking shortcuts, or all these people like Lane Kiffin, like if he wins a national championship, think of all the shortcuts this guy has taken, all the teams he's ruined and left in the dirt. Like if he wins a national championship, I'm going to be distraught, because it's like this guy took every shortcut in the book and he's winning. And so you just want to see somebody like Marcus Freeman win one, Notre Dame win one, because they did it the right way every time.
That's my dream, man. That's like the ultimate goal behind this whole show, is trying to show that you can win a title, trying to do it the right way, treating people the right way, and doing it clean, and to show that there's some justice in the world for being like doing it the right way. It's like, but you got to go do it, and nobody's going to feel bad for you. And like, the world doesn't stop for you to be able to like accomplish things. So they got to get it done, man. Beezer, I really appreciate you joining today, brother. What are you in a TP right now, or what?
I'm in my back porch. This is where I watch Notre Dame games. My wife works from home, and I don't
she takes a lot of phone calls, so I don't want to be like over here screaming about Notre Dame. But I'm getting excited. It feels like it's like 70 something down here, and it's dry air, so it kind of feels like fall when the wind gets to blowing. I'm fired up. I mean, I thought I was going to come out here and like just be mad with my grievances, and I have a few, but like now I sat out here on the porch and I was like, you know what? This is the best time of the year. We're getting there. We're on the 5-yard line. We're about to punch it in. And one thing about the jerseys, I just want to say this. I know it's so hard for us to change, but at the end of the day, it's if these 18-year-olds like it. They probably like the new Notre Dame logo. And honestly, I think Notre Dame just wanted to sell some merch, I supported them last year. I bought a polo with the new logo on it to teach in, so I don't hate the new logo that much. I love the interlocking ND, but I just pray that they wear those green jerseys with gold pants just one time. I got to see it. I need that back. So, but I won't keep you too much longer. Go Irish. Love the show. I may be back on later in the season. I don't know.
Fantastic.
I may just hop in and be just real quick and be like, go Irish, and then exit out. But
I love it.
God
Have
bless.
a good one,
Go
Beezer.
Irish.
Thanks for joining, buddy. That's good. We got another teacher, him and Liam, teaching America's youth and watching Always Irish. I don't know, man. Geez, Will, you took that really, really far. Why? How am I to blame for all of the like gang violence in Chicago? I didn't see that connection coming. How am I supposed to stop that? Pilney, $10 holler. The demon still lurks. Still, we'll have to get past OSU to get to a title. They're quietly in our way and have all the tools still. Notre Dame needs to exercise this demon and go all the way. It's a problem, and it is lurking there. And you do wonder if Notre Dame's going to get that title. At what point are you going to have to go through Ohio State? None of us alive have ever seen Notre Dame beat Ohio State. It's something, it's a real thing. Bruce, I see you. Let me do a couple of these chats here, and then we'll keep it going. We will keep it going. It's people are saying, Renee says, I allowed the trolls because I resemble one myself. I'm not even offended by that. Leon Blunt. It's also important to remember that Irish Nation is not a monolith. I have spoken about this at length before. One of the reasons Notre Dame's fandom is so unique is it's not geographically, like geographic based. Like, I'm a Georgia fan, you're probably from the South, right? Like, so you have all these different people from all over the country and all over the world that all have a different connection and a reason to like Notre Dame. I would say it's the fan base with the most diversity in that way. You have poor people that love Notre Dame because they're Irish Catholic, and you have all these billionaire lawyers and everybody else that's fancy with their degree, everybody in between. It's often overlooked how well-rounded that Notre Dame fan base is in every different sector of life and geographically too. Most teams, there are some exceptions. Most teams are geographically based, and it's like, we're from the South, and then you have those cultural values that kind of everybody kind of shares because you kind of grew up in the same area. We don't have that. You got people from every cut of life that love this university for different unique reasons. Very, very interesting with Notre Dame. $20 holler Pilney. I think Urban was in Freeman's ear warning against the NFL mirage. Urban remembered how under Olds and Davey the admin would not give the coaches phones to call recruits. Urban knows ND's a sleeping giant if football's supported. That's an interesting angle, Pilney. And thank you for the $20 holler. Andrew Gilmore. I got one thing I agree with from Andrew, one thing I disagree with. I think the biggest question is Will Black. Never played before, protecting the golden goose. Fickle's going to throw the kitchen sink at the rookie. Totally, totally true. Because here's how I look at it. New tackle Will Black guarding the blind side. There was a whole movie made about it. Lou Holtz was in it. He could be good 99% of the time as a rookie. The 1% that he makes one false move, Carr could get suplex from behind and the whole year's ruined. That's the problem. He could be good 99% of the time. If that one time results in a clear blindside suplex, this could all be ruined. That's heavy pressure. Heavy pressure to deliver. So that's going to be really interesting. But there's a lot of belief in Will Black. He seems to have all the tools. You got to hope that first 6-game run-up allows him to get his feet under him comfortably and everything and be able to do what he needs to do to keep Carr upright. But Fickle's a defensive guy. He's going to try and confuse him. Goolsby's looking at Black's feet and some of this and saying, I would run right at him. I would go right at his face. And Goolsby used some colorful language to describe this. But he said, I would go right at that guy and challenge him in that way. See what he could do. We were talking about Lane Kiffin. Freeman took the ultimate shortcut, was a power 4 DC for 1 year and then got the ND job. I cannot compare that to what I think is Lane Kiffin early in his career getting some opportunities because of who his dad is and how well his dad is thought of in football circles. Monty, okay, I think that's different. And also, Freeman didn't just job hop and leave people right away, take a job and then leave right away for another job where I think it's a better opportunity. He didn't do that. And by shortcut, that's got to be something you initiate. That's how I look at a shortcut, is you making a decision to make a move here to cut the line or whatever. Somebody offering you the Notre Dame job, you didn't do that. He didn't offer that job to himself. So that's where I see a very big difference there between you maneuvering on your own or whatever. He didn't offer himself the Notre Dame job. Pilney, $10 holler. We need a Michael Myers logo for the D-line. Give them all the mask on the D-line. I like that. I like that a lot. It's why haven't people recognized I had the Mike Myers by me? Because I had the light in the eyes. Maybe sometimes you couldn't see exactly what it was. And I wanted to show off something, the leprechaun hat that Mike's usually wearing back there. So everybody could see, by the way, that's what it's supposed to look like. An angry little Irishman ready to fight you. I thought that's what we were about and who we are. This is the leprechaun logo, not a cartoon. We are angry, we are the Irish, and we will fight you. I thought that's what we were all about here. Am I wrong? Maybe I am. Bruce, what's going on?
John, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm just excited for football, Bruce. It's been a long off season, extended by an extra 2 months because Notre Dame failed to make the playoff. Yeah, there's been an edge to the off season. It is, I'm ready for it, Bruce. We want to see what comes next.
Yeah, absolutely. So first, that Ric Flair story was amazing. That
never change, man. Bruce, you're like, you wonder, are all the stories true or whatever? Man, that boat pulled up and it was Rick in all of his glory doing his thing.
I've watched a lot of stuff and read a lot of stuff. Apparently that's true. Like to the point that's why he stayed around wrestling so long is because he needed the money because of the lifestyle that he was living.
Yeah. Doesn't he have like 5 ex-wives he's paying too?
Yeah, he's got a number of ex-wives. Yeah.
That'll cost you, bro.
Yeah.
Bruce,
Absolutely.
What is on your mind, man? We're about a week out from Notre Dame football. I'm wondering where your mind's at. And I know you're going to have an opinion. Let me know what you think of the SEC. They're doing their propaganda wave and everything. And they're still saying we might break away and do our own thing. So where are you at here a week out from Notre Dame football starting?
All right. So since you brought up the SEC, I'll start there. My favorite topic. No. So I actually talked about this last night on my show that I did. And the SEC, it's just so frustrating. And clearly they don't get a lot of things, but they can talk like this because they have the backing of ESPN, right? As we know, because ESPN has a 72% controlling ownership stake in the SEC network. So between that and their connection to the college football playoff, they have to push the SEC thing, right? And so that's where the SEC kind of gets the balls to say and do the things that they do. Dr. Johnson, United States Army. But yeah, so that's why they can talk and say the things that they say. But from a financial standpoint, even your ESPN couldn't be stupid enough to back them if they tried to go do their own thing, because it probably wouldn't even last one whole season before, the fans get bored of watching them just play each other over and over again, right? Because at the end of the day, the SEC wants everybody to believe that they're the best, hands down. Well, if you can't prove it by playing the other guys, what is the point of this?
Exactly. Bruce, that's where this falls apart for me, because you're going, okay, you're going to beat the hell out of each other in the regular season, which they brag about all the time, the week-to-week grind in the SEC and all that stuff. But what would the plan be for the postseason? To have your own bracket with just your teams, and then you're playing each other again?
Again, it's the same thing again. Yeah. Well, you know what? As since the 12-team playoff expanded, they can't beat anyone outside the SEC anyway. So why would it matter, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's totally ridiculous.
Yeah,
but the hypocrisy though is out of this world, because when Notre Dame got screwed last year, didn't play in the Pop-Tarts Bowl, everyone was talking about how spoiled they were and how they were a bunch of crybabies. They took their ball and went home. Well, what is this? This is that times what, 15, 18? Like, come on, man. This is the absurdity, the hypocrisy. It's crazy. But to that point, I loved Curt Cignetti taking that direct shot. He tried to kind of back down off of it a little bit, I think, when he was on FS1, either later that day or the day after, saying, oh, we were just, I was just having a little fun with those guys, because he was an assistant under Saban at Alabama. But still, not the point. He knew what he was saying, and he knows it's true. So I love Curt Cignetti saying that. And right now, if there's anyone who can say it, it's Curt Cignetti, right? So hey,
Yeah.
go out and get the job done, and then you can, Okay, Tyler. Hey, I appreciate you, Battle. I appreciate you. But the Buckeyes, not so much. But it's all good.
Hey, Notre Dame's got to get through them eventually,
sure.
man. It's been nobody alive has seen them beat that team.
But you know what, though? And you're right, John, but I'll tell you, there's one reason I don't have too much issue with the Buckeyes. And that reason is they are the team, for the most part, in the Big Ten that is built like an SEC team, and they always can beat an SEC team. So if you can beat the SEC, I don't have too much problem with you. So I'm okay with the Buckeyes. Don't love them, but I'm okay with them.
Yeah, it's and really, I mean, I hate to say it, but they're the model of sustained elite success for the Midwestern, Northern, cold weather teams. Like they are the model of what everybody wants to be. I mean, it's correct, and that hurts me to say, but like, I'm sorry, their record's their record, man. Like, so you gotta, but it does feel like Notre Dame might have to go through them if you're ever going to get this thing over the hump, depending on how it works out. So I don't know. Love to see them beat them.
Of course. Question for you. I don't know if you know the answer to this, but why is media practice access limited? What is that about?
I don't know.
Like, how is it supposed to cover the team if you can't watch practice?
It is just a trend that as the years have gone on, Marcus Freeman has tightened up the media access. Mm-hmm. And on the other end, I think he's doing more sit downs with the media, giving the media more podium time, whatever, to kind of balance that out, to give them some access. Mm-hmm. But for whatever reason, they do not want a lot of media in there. And I've heard the legacy media even say, even for as much as Kelly was prickly and difficult, he gave us a lot more access to the program, like on the practice field, than what you're getting now. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know. Ask Marcus Freeman. So it could be a frustrating August because I don't know how much info is going to leak.
Right. Well, that just shows, as much as everybody likes Marcus Freeman, or most people like Marcus Freeman, nobody's perfect. You can never have it all, right? Like, you can have the prettiest lady out there, but she might have a nasty attitude. Or you might have a lady who's not so pretty, but she's the sweetest thing God ever made. So you're never going to get it all in one package. It's just how life goes.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. I think the first one is the only one they have a full viewing window for. And the first one's a lot of stretching and just kind of getting going. So I don't know. I want to see how they're going to handle the day-to-day stuff. I'm wondering if all we're going to get is we're not in there, but I have a guy who's in there and he told me that this guy did this. I'm wondering if that's what you're going to get, because practice is going on and people are foaming at the mouth for the next report of the next day of practice. Was everybody healthy? Who shined? Who caught a pass? Like, it's just, we're hanging on every word. I don't know what you're going to get.
Right. Next thing, I think I heard the last guy say that he is totally unconcerned about the battle for QB2. I would disagree with that. I get his premise that if Carr goes down, it's, we're screwed. I get that, right? I think, oh man, what's my guy's name? I can't remember his name, but at one point the Colts coach said, well, why isn't QB2 getting reps? He said, because if Peyton goes down, we're all screwed anyway. So I get the premise, but I think that the QB2 battle is important because we want to be in a position where the lesser teams we play, we're blowing them out. So midway through the third quarter, CJ Carr's not playing anyway. So we want QB2 to be out there, be productive, keep leads, maybe even make a couple of plays and carry on with the big wins. That's how I'm looking at it. Am I wrong on this one?
Yeah, no, I get it. And the thing with the backup quarterback this year is it could be largely an afterthought. Or it could be the most important thing of the year. If like Carr, you need to get out of a game because Carr gets dinged a little bit, or so that could be either the most important thing of the year or not at all. And then the other thing is like what you're setting up for the future too. And I don't know if you can end up with like one backup quarterback early in the year and then another guy overtakes him later in the year. I don't know how that's all going to go. But I'm with you. Like, there's a reason those coaches say we don't practice screwed. You know what I mean? Like, that's not our default.
Sure. No doubt. Gagassaw, have you heard anything about him? Because he's still highly regarded, highly rated, but I think I read something recently saying there's a possibility he's still working his way back. There's a possibility of some nerve damage. Did you hear anything like that?
The latest I've heard is they hope to have him back at some point during the year. But I am just kind of, I hate to say it, but like out of sight, out of mind till I see that he's back. It's been a really frustrating journey. Yeah,
that's tough. But one thing, at Notre Dame, they're always going to have O-linemen. That's never going to be a problem,
Yeah, it's super frustrating though, man, for all the physical gifts that guy has. And then the injury itself was weird enough. And then to have all the weird follow-up problems and complications. It's just, it is really got to be frustrating for everybody.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I guess that's about all I got, John. I just wanted to drop in with those notes and questions.
Bruce, you're the man. I want to jump on your show. Give me a little notice and I will pop on the Format Podcast. Everybody go follow. Bruce, you're a scholar and a gentleman. And I say it every time you come on because I think we need more of this in society. I've never met a more respectful young kid than your son when I met him in person multiple times. So you're doing a good job as a parent there.
Thank you, John. That means a lot to me. I appreciate it.
No problem. Let me know when I could hop on and then have this crew go over and watch that.
No doubt. By the way, shout out to everybody here who was on last night with me and Mr. CeeLo. I appreciate you guys coming through. Thanks so much.
Bruce, you're the man. Have a good weekend, buddy. We'll talk to you. He invited me yesterday, but I got the alert way too late, and that's my fault. So we'll let you guys know when that's going to be. There was something else I was going to do here. Somebody asked randomly, they were like, can we just get a little sampling of your soundboard here?
Don't let the media tell you how to think and feel.
What's your face? We want to see your face.
Who said that? You want to see my face?
Go on, brother.
I can't understand you. How much time you got, buddy? If you have hate in your heart, let it out.
Oh, man.
Are you delusional? Do you suffer from a mental illness?
What the hell is even that?
I forgot some of
Great
these,
success.
man.
It's a very nice.
A great success.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me?
You blew it!
Hey, how's it going? You're working.
Dude, I forgot I even had some of these. I did that Beavis and Butthead one on purpose just so I could play it when people are actually like calling in from work. You're working. Taj, what's going on, brother?
Oh, wow. Got me in on immediately, huh?
Hey, man, it's rare when I see you. So let's see what you got. What's up?
Okay. Not much. I've been, enjoying the show. Always like listening to you and Bruce go back and forth. Interesting. Right before I came in here, Notre Dame just posted a video of that new facility they just built. And I got them in. I like it. Choose Hard is like, all over the building. And, since you're talking about the logos, they kept the Fighting Irish logo with his Dukes up all throughout the facility. They don't have the other logo, the one you say is more cartoonish. So they at least kept the spirit there.
Yeah, that's good. Dude, I got to tell you, man, like you knew when Notre Dame announced they were building this new facility that it was going to be very modern and like top notch. I got to admit, man, I never thought we'd see something this futuristic at Notre Dame. Like I'm genuinely impressed. I knew they would do a good job once they committed to the project, but I am genuinely impressed. It is top notch, and you're proud to walk recruits and their families into there. Like with Marcus Freeman leading the way, and then you go in that building. Man, that's a good recruiting pitch.
Yeah, I was tired of watching just LSU get a brand new, locker room, and then, Oregon, who was kind of at the start of the whole facility arms race. And it's like, when are we going to get something like that? And I'm glad they finally committed to it because, the place looks amazing. I can see why the players are all stoked.
Yeah, it is. And that's been something long in the works. You will remember Brian Kelly had that complaint of needing that new facility, even going back to his days. And again, Notre Dame, like we went over this the other day, Notre Dame will only do a building like this if it's fully funded, fully paid for. They have it all in hand, and then they do the build. Like it's so they're unique in that way, or maybe not. Maybe other people do it that way too. So they got it. It's a beautiful facility.
Yeah. As for other things that have just been kind of on my mind, I mean, Lincoln Riley running his mouth, which I find is hilarious.
Dude, let me ask Taj, let me ask you this. And I don't know the reality of this. Does anyone want Notre Dame to ever respond to any of this? Or is it like we're above that and it's like go ahead and Lincoln Riley, run your mouth, talk crap to Notre Dame, like say your lies that you're saying are true, whatever. Like, are we like kind of we're above the fray? We're not going to get in that. Let him say whatever he's going to say. We don't care. Or is there anybody here that would like Notre Dame to put out a statement on their side of where this is all at? Not in an immature like way, but just put an update out there where we're at and the facts from our side. Like, or are we just going to let Lincoln Riley, say what he's going to say?
Honestly, I don't think we need to. I mean, no one respects Lincoln the Cowardly Lion, not even his own alumni base. They're angry about him ending the rivalry, and they know it was his brainchild to do it ever since they joined the Big Ten. I mean, the guy's whole career is as soon as things get hard, bail. He left Oklahoma to go to USC thinking he had a sweeter deal. Then when USC joins the Big Ten, that kind of short-circuited his plan. So now he's got to run. I mean, this year he's basically coaching for his life because that stretch in the middle of the year where he's got to play Ohio State, Oregon, and Washington all back-to-back. I mean, I honestly see them going 0-3 in that stretch. I'm not a believer in USC right now at all. But as for us, I just say we don't need to respond. I honestly hope that he's just good enough to sneak into the playoffs and we draw him in the first round and force him to come back to South Bend and for CJ Carr and the boys to just light them up and absolutely humiliate them and say, hey, you wanted to run from us. Now you can't run.
Yeah, it's man, the USC thing's super frustrating. It's not the same looking at Syracuse ending that the season. Like and I know you could get the Angeli rematch, and if Notre Dame's in a playoff hunt, that could be really an interesting narrative. But man, it is going to feel really weird not ending in LA.
Yeah, it's disappointing. I mean, USC, I always want them on the schedule. I still want Michigan back on the schedule. I really hope that we can put some more pressure to put them back on the schedule. Growing up in Niles, you have Notre Dame fans on one side and Michigan fans on the other side, just growing up in that environment. Michigan and USC are always the two teams I grew up hating. And, it's sad to not have either of them on the schedule.
Yeah, man, it's for sure. And then I believe, when do we go to the Big House? We do resume the Michigan game. I think it's 32. We go to the Big House. So that's still a ways off, but I believe they are on the schedule, but it's a ways off.
Yeah, it's just, kind of disappointing. But, I think Marcus has the program moving in the right direction. I think he's going to have the boys focused going into camp because it's like, hey, we've been burned twice. We can't afford to take anybody light. I mean, I know it's Wisconsin, and I know Wisconsin isn't what they used to be, but hey, we got to make a statement. We got to make them, everyone, the media, the haters, everybody know that it was a mistake to leave us out of the playoffs, and we're not going to give them the opportunity to do so this time around.
Yeah. It's yep. You gotta prove it on the field this time, and it's just we gotta knock that bad taste out of our mouths from last year. So you gotta go play really good, high level, winning football. And I don't know, man. The expectations are sky high. I've never seen the program positioned to be able to excel in the modern era as much as it is right now, but they got to go do it or it's all for nothing. It's all wasted. All this recruiting, all the good stuff we're talking about. If you don't take care of it on the field, then what's it all for?
Yeah. And I think that they will. I think we finally have all the parts and pieces. We have a quarterback with some experience coming back. We have a defense that's feared, not just respected, but actually feared. And everybody keeps discounting the running back room, but I've been watching Aeneas since I first saw him in the Blue and Gold game his freshman year. That is a utility back. Watch him being used in a creative way.
You know what? I think you're going to see a lot more running backs in the short pass game used as a bridge between the running game and like the downfield pass game. I think there's multiple of them that could succeed in that dynamic, and Aeneas is definitely one of them. I'm expecting to see that a lot more as a part of this offense this year.
Yeah, I am. Just, other than that, can't wait to see camp. I'm not too worried about him kind of closing off the media. I think it's just his way of trying to keep the team just focused. Like, everyone's going to analyze us anyway. I don't want you worried about the cameras. I want you worried about getting your reps in, getting better each day, each week, each rep. That's all I need you to worry about right now.
Taj, you know what the chat's worried about right now?
What?
Your house lighting on fire because you're ignoring that chirping smoke detector.
Yeah, I'm swapping them. I'm swapping the batteries out as we speak. I have a rare day off from work.
We're just making sure you're not getting CO2. You're not getting carbon monoxide poisoning before the season, buddy.
Nah, I'm good. But yeah, it was nice checking in with you, and I'm gonna sit back and let you do your thing for the rest of the show. You guys have a great day.
Taj, the Rice game, are you gonna come on, man? Get to the tailgate. Rice in Miami, baby.
I'll try to get to Rice. I don't know if I can afford Miami, but I'll try to get to Rice.
There you go, man. I hope to see you there. Have a good one. Check back with me when camp starts. Let me know how you think it's going.
Okay. Bye.
Have a good one, buddy. Have a good one. I can't, Mason. That's hilarious. I can't sleep unless I hear my fire alarm chirping. Rice, baby. That's a good one, Mark. I'm kind of mad that I didn't think of that myself. I'm real mad about that. Let's do Spicoli, and then I'm gonna yell about the jerseys and point some out to you guys. See if you agree. Spicoli, what's going on, brother?
What's up, bro? Yes, sir. I'm in the same position with these jerseys, man.
Yeah, here's the thing, man. I get that it's I guess we could do a hybrid here. I'll talk to you and I'll kind of complain about this. All right.
Good deal.
Okay. I understand it's a one-off as far as I believe, like them having the little cartoon leprechaun on the shoulders. It's just for that green jersey. That's not going to be like on every jersey we want. I hope. Okay. But here's the issue that I got. Let me show this there. There we go. I pulled up the jersey while we're talking. Number one is, does everybody love that shade of green? It's a little in between to me. I almost prefer a darker forest green or the vintage green of like the original green jersey USC game.
Yeah.
I don't love the tone of the green myself, but again, if it's a one-off, I can get over it. Like if it's just for one, you can wear whatever. But I really do think the darker green is a sharp look for Notre Dame. Whether you go the full vintage where it's almost green, yellow looking, I prefer the darker green. So this almost looks like it was dark green, then you washed it 1,000 times and now it's lighter. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, bro. I mean, I'm in the same position. I wish it was in that same dark blue or dark green, but that light green, Kelly green, whatever. I mean, and with going with the gold, without gold pants, man, it almost looks like an MSU game.
I don't love it for that reason. And then here's my real issue though, man. Here's my real issue. You got a head coach that gets asked, what do you want your team to be? And he says, offensive, defensive driven program. He gets interviewed before the game. What do you want to see? And he talks about, I want to see violence from my guys and all that.
Yes,
you
sir.
Put a child cartoon logo on your jersey on purpose. And now you want to talk about violence and being tough. You literally chose to put a child cartoon logo on your jersey like the original Mighty Ducks movie.
For real.
It bothers me. It bothers me.
Dude, I love it. You're in the same spot I was in yesterday. I've already got tickets to the Stanford game. I was looking forward to a green game because I've never seen one, but I was thinking hopefully we would go with the gold pants at least to keep it traditional versus this new retro white pants, blue pants. I'm like, bro, what in the hell? We are Notre Dame. We don't, I mean, we shouldn't change we already have a Shamrock series. Why do we need to do a different uniform for another game? And it seems to me, I mean, I hate to go off on a rant, but it seems to me that this is the idea of the going in the future for the green game is just have that leprechaun. And like you said, bro, that is the goofiest looking little cartoon running with the football. I understand, man, but at least do the Heisman pose with the leprechaun. That at least had a little bit more.
Okay, here's where I'm going with this on a deeper level than just visual. It feels to me like Notre Dame thought the aggressive leprechaun with the Dukes up that I love that I'm showing right now is a little too intimidating. And like, it's like, do we want to put out that image of ourselves as always looking to fight? And we got our Dukes up. And like, is that the vibe we want to put out there, right? Like, that's kind of like the feeling I get. That's one step away from an announcement saying we're no longer the Fighting Irish because we don't want to be viewed as being like disagreeable. It's one step away from we want to get away from being the Fighting Irish because of the image that portrays. That's why I don't like it. It's one step closer to them not wanting to be the Fighting Irish, and then I'm going to go nuclear.
I agree fully, bro. And last year when we first saw that, and I agreed with you then, man, they're getting away from the Fighting Irish, bro. This is our whole identity. You know what I'm saying? Like, Notre Dame's a small school. We had, a small group of people, like the Catholics, the immigrants. Hell, they fought the Ku Klux Klan outside the school. That's the Fighting Irish, dude. The fighting does not have to do with like negative. It means fighting for what we believe in, fighting to keep the country the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the culture of Notre Dame's wrapped up in that leprechaun. So taking the Dukes down is taking away something of ours, and it's like cancel culture. When like 3 years ago, when everybody was trying to act like they should cancel the Notre Dame leprechaun. I mean, bro, get over it. And I mean, to me, the leprechaun I've always related to it, man, because it's like, he's not this 20-foot tall leprechaun. He's a little dude. He's got his Dukes up. He's against the wall.
Underdog, the underdog. Yes. And we're going to fight. We're going to fight it out. Like, to me, this all makes sense, but I get that it's like one jersey and who cares? Pat says, guys, you understand Under Armour needs to make money. Under Armour wants different uniforms, hoping fans will buy them so they can sell more jerseys. Why are we caring about this? I'm going to care about whatever's bothering me, and I don't give a shit. I'm going to be mad about what I want to be mad about. Soon enough, it'll be the actual football. But until we get there, I'm going to be mad about what I'm going to be mad about. Saying you want to play with violence and choosing to put a child's cartoon logo on your jersey doesn't line up to me.
Thank you, bro. And I mean, think about it. Lou Holtz, Ara Parseghian. We don't have a breaking point. We break other people. I mean, come on, bro. This is football. We can't have we can't have goofy cartoon characters representing. And I mean, it goes further than that, man. But I mean, who cares about a mascot versus actual games and stuff, man? But I agree with you, bro. But I just wanted to say a few things, man. The pants are driving me nuts. And the gold pants, man, I want to see Notre Dame. I'm a fan of Notre Dame. I'm driving 11 hours every year to see Notre Dame. I want to see the blue and gold. I want to see the gold pants. I want to see the interlocking ND. I don't want to see a new leprechaun for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And then the Holtz patch, like you were saying the other day, with this SoFi patch, dude, I detest all this. It's ruining college football. I gotta live with it, but man, my Irish eyes are crying, bro, because football is getting ripped away from me. But Holtz needs to have that little spot above the helmet. Dude, they gotta do it for Holtz, bro. Because I mean, that's our boy, man. And then,
you know what I wonder too? I wonder if they're gonna do some on the field. Like where you could have a little loop, like on where the kickoffs are, or like one thing on each like hash somewhere. I'm really wondering if they do something like that on the field.
Dude, I would love
even though it's false turf, fake turf,
Yes.
There's ways they can remove it and put in logos. They did it for the playoff where you could remove a section and put in a logo. I'm wondering if they're going to do that for Lou. I would really appreciate it. I want Lou somewhere. I prefer it to be on the jerseys, but I need Lou somewhere.
I need him on that helmet, bro. Like right where you said, right where they had Era, man. You cannot do that for Era and then not do it for Lou. I mean, I love Era, and Era did as much for the university as anybody, but Lou is our blood, bro. Lou was the man. Lou would share it. The dude was born and went to the grave as a Notre Dame man, had the alma mater played at his funeral. I mean, there's no other higher respect to give other than the Lou. And to name that field or our stadium anything other than the house that Rockney built, I will not. That cannot be played with, man. That cannot. I mean, if we have to win a national championship and never again, I'm fine with that. I don't want our stadium called, SoFi Field, bro. This is the house that Rockney built. The names of Notre Dame mean more than football itself. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the year, bro, I'm super pumped. And yes, I am a little disappointed about going to seeing the game with the Leprechaun on the. But it's all good, man. Leprechaun's our boy. We rock it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm in the same boat, bro. I just cannot stand a traditional school changing traditions.
Or it's just
stay
like
with the traditions.
Dude, you could do the green and have the interlocking ND on the shoulder instead of this cartoon, and it would probably. I want to know how many people are like, I absolutely love the new soft logo. I gotta have that. I don't know other than a 7-year-old. I don't know one person that's like, you know what? I like this new cartoon logo. I got to go buy a bunch of drop $1,000 in the bookstore for that. Unless you're a 7-year-old, I don't know anyone who finds that appealing. But
and this is the other thing.
Whatever. It is
about
what
the
it
Dukes
is.
Up, bro. It's like everybody, like you were saying earlier, Notre Dame's got a national fan base. So it almost pertains to how we feel as fans. Because where we're at, we're always attacked. We're always going to be attacked. And we got to have our Dukes Up. And it's nice to have a representation of people going, oh, that's y'all's mascot, the little leprechaun with the Dukes Up ready to roll, because that's the way y'all are. It's like, yes. But as far as hosts, man, I would love for them, instead of having like, 10-minute pregame on the big screen, show one of his locker room speeches, especially the one where he's talking about, now that I'm eye to eye with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, play a speech from Lou Holtz before the game, man. That would just get goosebumps.
Well, you know what they're going to do? I'm telling you what they need to do is leading into the Miami game, like before the team runs out or whatever, they need to do like the leave Jimmy Johnson's ass for me, like, to really get people fired up. And you need to show on the Jumbotron that moment right before the team runs out where everybody's getting fired up. You could feel that juice and that energy. They need to play on the Jumbotron, the fight in the tunnel, and have the scuffle and everything. And like the save Jimmy, that has got to be the last thing we see before that team runs out there against Miami.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But as far as
I need it,
I feel you, bro. I feel you, man. I'm looking forward to it every game, man. I want to see it from 1 to 12. I mean, all the home games. I mean, we cannot put enough stress or emphasis on how important Lou Holtz was, man. We cannot. And if we're gonna add patches for money, add patches for respect and honor. You know what I'm saying? But man, I'm a Notre Dame diehard. I grew up in '88. I hate to see anything change. I loved where they did with the new uniforms last year with the gold ND and the interlocking NDs for the Navy game, man. And I was almost excited to see the green ones with that. And that's why I was kind of like, dang, like I'd rather have seen that shiny gold looking all pimp versus some little leprechaun dude. And I'm telling you, man, I will not buy a single. I don't care what it is, man. I'm not buying anything with that mascot. I will buy plenty, 2 or more, just to make up for all the people buying that crappy mascot, the Dukes Up guy. Because I'm saying, man, I'm trying to bring back. Every time you see me, if I'm at Notre Dame, I'm wearing Dukes Up or the ND, bro. I mean, but like I said, man, I just wanted to say what's up. We're gonna have a good year, and I can't wait to call in and talk to y'all guys about the games and all, and hopefully, man, meet up with some people at the Stanford game. Last thing I want to ask you, bro, for the Stanford game, could the fans that are always Irish fans do like a little, always Irish tailgate themselves? You know what I'm saying? Just to gather up with whoever's there.
For which game?
the Stanford game, I was just thinking like maybe we could buy a flag from you, fly it up in the parking lot. And
We've
just,
thought about that, getting 2 different flags, and I'd keep one, and then one could be mailed around for road games or home games I'm not at to fly it, and then people could have their own tailgate with our people. We have talked about one of the flags being traveling. So then for the away games and home games I'm not at, people could do that. So it's a good idea. I'm all for that. But somebody's got to be in charge of it, and then I need to mail them a flag, and they got to get a flagpole and make sure they do it right.
Cool. Yeah, man. I'm like I said, dude, I was wanting to be at the Rice game for the Lou Holtz kind of first game at the house, man. But we were second guess, and for the meetup of all you guys, man, because I really want to meet y'all, bros, and especially you, man, because we are October boys. I'm a day before you, man. So, and when I first started watching this show, I was like, there's not another dude I've ever heard that does a podcast the way I would do it. So. Appreciate you muchly, man.
Well, I don't know if that's good or bad, but here we are.
It's great, man. Notre Dame people are supposed to be like this, man. So keep it up. I'll listen to you, man. Go Irish, bro.
Have a good one, Andrew. That's hilarious what you said. That is really hilarious. Go Irish says, who cares? Win games, period. I'm with you. And like Pat saying, I can't believe this. And Notre Dame fans are soft. I can't believe this is what we're mad at or whatever. I would argue it's the opposite of soft for me not to want you to intentionally look soft. Like, how am I soft? Because I don't like you going out of your way to look soft. How does it make me soft? I don't. If you don't play great in that game, I'm going to blame these jerseys partially. And you could tell me that makes no sense. You could say I need to grow up. You could say that's immature. You could say I've lost my mind. I don't care. Your head coach talks about wanting violence, and you put a cartoon on your jersey. You put a cartoon on your jersey. So if they don't play great, I'm blaming the damn jersey for some of it. It's hard. It's hard to play tough and be that way when you have a cartoon on your jersey. So I don't know. But and the other thing too is, give me a break, man. We've had 8 months of the off season. We're about to get in football. I'm yelling about something that really doesn't matter that much in the grand scheme of things. Give me a break. We have 1 more week and it'll all be about football. Okay. It'll all be about football. Like, whatever, man. I hope a bunch of 5-year-olds get their cartoon jersey or whatever. Like, I don't know, man. Bones, what's going on, buddy? What's up? I can't understand you.
There we go. Did I fix myself?
Yeah, gotcha.
What's up? How
Bones?
are you?
Well, I'm good, man. I'm excited, man. We're 1 week away. I'm ready.
Man, I'm ready. Hey, I wanted to say first and foremost, thanks for doing this podcast. I appreciate it. We love hearing you. Big Notre Dame family. I'm sorry, but I'm just sick and tired of listening to this sponsorship crap. And maybe call me whatever, new school, old, whatever. I want to win. I'm 30 years old. My first memory was being at that 2005 USC Notre Dame Bush push where it was stolen from us and we drove home crying for hours. I want to freaking win. I don't care what patch they've got on their jerseys. I want to win. I'm sick of it. The only focus should be on winning football games. And I'm getting a little nervous that this sponsorship, everything, Notre Dame specifically, hopefully we can keep our focus on the main thing, which is trying to win a national championship.
Well, here's the other thing too, man. And thanks for joining me. Goolsby brings this up when I get mad about certain things too all the time. He says, John, you got to understand a lot of the things that occupy your Notre Dame brain have nothing to do with this football team. Of like all the things that the media and the fans and like the things we're worried about, like the staff and the team everything that we talk about doesn't get layered down to where they think about it. This jersey isn't a big deal. It's just a pet peeve of mine because it rubs me the wrong way. They don't care about any of this stuff. It's not going to make a difference in how they play, but I'm not them. I'm just an idiot in his basement. Okay? So I feel what I feel, but it doesn't impact them, and I'm not acting like it does. But if they play bad in those green jerseys, you better believe I'm bringing it up first thing.
Can you even see how prevalent is the patch on the jersey? I mean, in all reality, in all seriousness, I mean, are we really going to be able to see that? Is it going to be a huge difference?
Yeah. It's and the other thing too is, man, like the SoFi thing is really not that abrasive. It's like a little rectangle. We're all going to forget about it once the games get going anyways. It's just like the initial thing of doing it. But it's like, I am self-aware enough to know the things and the little nuanced things that bother me do not move the needle. And like I've had people say to me before, John, I don't know, you're talking about this. I really hope you don't put that out there for the team to see. I hope to God no one involved in this team at that level is watching this show. They're all going to be head cases. Like, I don't want that. Let me be all quirky and weird and worry and get mad about things I want to. And you just focus on playing really good ass football, man.
Absolutely. So that's my one gripe on the sponsorship stuff. Last gripe. Can we fix our goal line offense, our short yardage, 4th down and 1, 4th and inches offense? Is Aeneas Williams going to be getting the ball? I mean, we've got this great offensive line that we tout every single year, but it seems like our toughest plays are when it's 3rd and short or 4th and short. What's your feeling on that?
It's real. The bigger picture, like goals, is like win out through September, protect home field, all that stuff. But when you're looking at in-game stuff, short yardage has got to get better. And the reason it was particularly frustrating is with those running backs, you figured it shouldn't be so hard to get those first downs or get in the end zone or whatever. And the other thing it makes me think of is, man, you really take a guy like Riley Leonard for granted with that big body. And it isn't just the big frame. It's knowing the little crease to fall in. Like when you're in those 3rd and 4th or goal line and short, it isn't just having a big body, but it's knowing where you could fall to find the angle to be. Some guys are very comfortable and natural doing that, and others aren't. And like, we really took the Riley Leonard thing for granted. You could just hike it to that guy and know he's going to find a gap. It's got to get better. And I don't know, maybe this group of running backs, it's easier for them. The other thing is maybe the tight ends make a difference, like better blocking down there. Like, I don't know, but it's got to get better. And the one thing I don't need is, you know, you're playing Rice and it's 4th and 1. I don't need Carr getting his head dinged to pick up 4th and short against like one of those teams. I don't know if you want to get into that either.
You took the words out of my mouth. Heisman, as of now, I believe one of the co-favorites, if not the favorite to win the Heisman Trophy. With all these, these games that we're going to have 20-plus point spreads, how long do you leave them in? I get, the leave no doubt. I get all that Freeman's trying to instill in these guys, run up the scores on every single team. But there's got to be a happy medium there where it's, hey, keep Carr healthy. Let's hand the ball off, or let's take him out in the middle of the 3rd quarter when we're up 30 and have more confidence to say, hey, we don't need to run up the score because we're going to be undefeated at the end of the season.
Yeah. So, okay, here, and I've talked to Goolsby about this too. How do you balance this? I'm saying I don't need Carr taking hits in these games. We're favored by double digits. We're going to win by a lot to get some of this yardage. But I think there's also an agreement. We would all like Carr to be a little more comfortable RPO look or keeping the ball, like presenting that look to a defense. So like, where's the balance there? Because I don't want him to do that a lot in games where you don't need it for us to win. But I think you may need that when you're playing a Miami or in the playoff game. So do you have to do that in games to get him comfortable with that? Or can you just expect to not do that a lot and then pull it out of the bag when you need it?
I mean, hopefully with our offseason moves, with the 2 transfers of the Ohio State wide receivers, I think Greathouse is going to be back and healthy. I mean, let's throw some little hitches to Faison. Let's run some some quick throws with how accurate Carr should be. Again, Heisman Trophy favorite. He should be able to throw that on a dot, 3-5 yards in front of the sticks. Good question. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend like I know the answer to that, but God, I hope he stays healthy. We need him.
Yeah. And so I feel like there's an expectation in Notre Dame defense that we all pretty much know the faces and who's going to be involved. And a lot of that defense is returning and you feel pretty good about it. I feel like offensively is where there's a lot of questions. And I'm a little surprised to see there's a lot of faith in Notre Dame's offense, despite all these new guys all over. The O-line's reshuffled, the tight end, the running backs, the wide receivers, everywhere. There's big changes, and there's still a lot of confidence in this offense. Is that CJ Carr driven or a belief in that next batch of talent? Like, what do you think? What do you think is leading to that blind faith in all these new faces on the offense?
Got to be CJ Carr driven. All the insiders, everything that I'm listening to saying he's the real deal. You know, I don't mind him dropping back and throwing it 30, 40 times. I'd love to see that. That's a completely different side of ND football that I've never seen before. I'd love to see him drop back and just absolutely sling it all over the place. Obviously, we invested with Mylan Graham and the other OSU wide receiver that we got in the portal. Great House Faison. He's got the weapons. I mean, he's got the weapons. The one question I wanted to ask you before I let you go: are you bought in on Aeneas Williams, or are we going to see one of these younger guys come out, have a breakout game, and run a little platoon like they were running with Love and Price, 50-50 carries? I think the guy's name's I'm forgetting who the number 2 depth chart running back is. What's your feeling on that?
Here's what I'm envisioning. I think it's going to be different because you don't have Love and Price as your engine, your battery you can rely on. You feed the offense through them. They're the energy, like whatever. But I don't think the backs need to perform like that to still help the team and be a plus unit, because you're going to have other strengths. Theoretically, the passing game should take another jump here with more wide receivers people have belief in, and another year of CJ Carr in the offense. It doesn't have to be Love and Price to be a plus unit. And you could use those guys in their skill sets, either in the short pass game or like find a niche role for some of these guys. So I'm not down on it, but you can't expect what Love and Price were because it was so unique, but they don't have to be that to help the team. And so I think guys will find their little niche in their role. And if most of it runs through Aeneas or whatever, fine. And you find where the other guys fit in, short yardage or going out for a pass or a decoy, like whatever it is. So that's where I'm at. You can't expect what you got from Love and Price, but they could still be a plus unit and help the team. And I expect that.
I'll leave you with this note, then I got to run. If we can't throw the football this year, we will never be able to throw the football. We've got the best. I mean, Carr is stud. We've got weapons now with them that should perform. We can't throw the football this year. We might as well just go all in on the run game again.
Amen. How many of these Augusts have we all been listening to people say, this is the year Notre Dame presents like a more solid wide receiving core that takes the next step? And people are jaded. They're burned out on it. Like Tobias Merriweather's number 1, like all of this stuff, man. Like people have scar tissue straight up Red Hot Chili Pepper style, bro. Like, and so they got to prove their way out of it. And I'm telling you, a healthy, good CJ Carr is a great way to bring that wide receiver core along.
Absolutely. I got to run. Have a good one. Thanks.
Have a good one, buddy. Call again, Bones. I never did get to ask him where that accent was from. Pat, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, Johnny. All right. I don't like the logo either. It's stupid.
Yeah.
It is a stupid logo. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
But to the last caller's point, I'm not gonna freak out about it. All I want is for the team to win. So I'm not. It's not about what the jersey looks like, because at the end of the day, John, when they wear that stupid jersey, if they don't play well, you're going to be mad at Marcus Freeman, as you should be. It's not the jersey. All right. It wasn't the green jerseys against Boston College in '93 or the Tyrone Willingham year
I was going to say, or 03. Wasn't the other one 03?
03 against Boston
Yeah,
College.
where they had like 7 fumbles.
Yes, it was the inability to hold on to the football.
That's a problem. Yeah.
It's not the jersey. So,
dude,
like,
is
but at
it
the same
fair?
time,
but wait,
I can, as we always say, there could be, two sides of this, and I can hate the logo and not care about it because I know the performance of the team has nothing to do with the logo.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, no, that's totally obviously. It's just, but a part of it for me, Pat, is the feeling. What are you laughing at?
Ryan Roll.
What did he say? I missed
I need
it.
a SoFi patch on my curtains.
Yeah. Send him the money and he'll advertise.
Yep, 20 million.
Yeah. A part of it, I think, Pat, is me having this existential thing of not wanting them to get away from the Fighting Irish. And to me, softening that leprechaun logo that was aggressive is a step in the direction of getting away from being the Fighting Irish. So some of it is what it represents to me, is softening the branding to be a little more approachable. And I don't like that at all.
I don't think from everything I've read because this comes up every 5 to 10 years. And about the going away from the Fighting Irish, you hear it all the time. Somebody's always writing an article to knock Notre Dame and try to get them to do that. And from what I've always read from the university itself, there is no motivation for that because that is something that the fan base cares deeply about. So I'm Dr. John, you can attest to that. Am I going to? I myself would be extremely upset with the university if they dropped the Fighting Irish because I'm Irish and I grew up, Irish Catholic from the south side of Chicago. That's what I grew up on. But at the end of the day, like the patch, so people have to understand there's 2 revenue streams to players now. There's the house settlement and there's NIL. Okay. NIL money is completely separate from the university in terms of a financial aspect. All right. Now the coaches with the fund work with the fund to get that money to players, but all the money in NIL is it's the players negotiate on their own behalf. Like when you do a autograph signing with Sam Hartman.
I'm just picturing the mental image of that, of you just blending in there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm sure.
Running the street, baby. Running the block.
There's direct payments to players where they're advertising for businesses. And then there's the fund, the collective, and that money is still separate from the university. And whatever money is brought in there, it's going to be able to determine how much Notre Dame is able to pay players.
Yeah.
The house settlement is completely separate. It is essentially making the players employees. Now, the house settlement has Title IX restrictions on it, meaning the university can't just give all of the money to the football team.
Yeah.
It has to go to all of the players. And there's a salary cap, so to speak, on it. It's capped at $20.5 million a year. Notre Dame has already stated they will be spending up to that $20.5 million. And geez, they just signed a deal that brings in an extra $20 million to the athletic department. So they're covering their bases. This isn't about selling out to corporatism. This isn't about anything. This is about making sure that they can stay financially stable and pay the bills that they need to pay and give this football program its resources. This is all this stuff is. And all the people freaking out about jerseys. And first, like I said earlier, Under Armour wants to sell merchandise because they need to they're paying Notre Dame like 16, 17 million a year too. So they need to sell merchandise because they got to get their money back too. So everybody is we should be happy. Everybody's trying to profit off of Notre Dame right now because that means we have a pretty strong freaking brand. And all of this is just about staying competitive in college football the way it is today. If you want to be mad about this stuff, Don't be mad about the decisions Notre Dame is making. They're just making the decisions they have to make sure they can put a championship football team on the field. This is college football in total is changing. And that's where the problem is. And Notre Dame is just responding and reacting and getting in front of the rest of the country and making these decisions to make sure that they can stay competitive. Yeah. That's all this is. And it's just, I'm just not, like I said, if the team plays violent, I don't give a damn what the patch looks like, or I don't give a damn what the logo looks like on the jersey. If they go 15-0, I might buy one of them suckers.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to, even if they do go 15-0. Yeah. But who knows? My daughter might like it because she's the intended audience.
Yeah. Listen, you know how I am. This little quirky stuff is going to bother me.
I know you need something to talk about because it's been a long summer.
It's a good point too. And I'm going to bitch about it or whatever. But at the end of the day though, Pat, like I didn't lose sleep over this SoFi thing because you just know that this is where everything's headed and Notre Dame's got to do this kind of stuff.
Notre Dame has to do it.
Would I prefer that it's pristine and never touched? Yes, but that doesn't match with the real world we live in and the economics. Pat, here's how, like, I'm going to complain about it because I don't like this stuff, but I understand it. But the same people that really have a problem with it are going to be mad when you don't land those next 2 5 stars because you don't have that extra money. So it's like, it's a big give and a take.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly right. It's going to be the people who are going to be mad about this are going to be mad at, say, okay, Notre Dame says, all right, we're not going to do this stuff. And then all of a sudden they suck again. Yeah. And then you're going to be mad about them sucking again. You can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah. This is what you need to do. And no, Kevin, it doesn't make us look cheap. It makes, and it's not going to hurt recruiting in a negative way whatsoever. In actuality, what it's going to do is Notre Dame's going to be able to tell these kids, we got this money in this department. You're going to get this $20.5 million. You got kids suing other schools right now because the schools didn't make the financial obligations. Half the MAC programs are almost bankrupt already.
Yeah. Yeah. And you got to listen, these schools are all trying to find alternate revenue streams that go into their pool and figure out how to do all that. And Notre Dame has the brand leverage that it's kind of easy where people want to work with them, want to pay them millions of dollars. And so like a lot of the hard work has been done, which is building the brand of the profile where you can, if you're going to put a patch on the jersey, you're getting the most money for it of anybody in the country doing that. Like, that's where I fall on it. If you feel like you got to do all this stuff, be the best at it. And like, I give them a lot of credit for that brand commanding that kind of dough.
Right.
But it's the modern
world.
And
trolling Ohio State in the process. Come on. I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but it's pretty freaking funny with Ohio State at 11 a.m. releases, we getting $17 million, and Notre Dame at noon, oh yeah, we're getting 20. Who's the bigger brand?
Yeah, it is. But man, these are just changing times. And the struggle, Pat, this is a modern age struggle. So much of Notre Dame's lore is so much of the fan base is tradition and history based. That is in total contrast to the modern world we live in this sport. That's where it's hard for Notre Dame to thread the needle. We're so much based on tradition and history, but you got to change to play in the modern world. That's a tough needle to thread if you're Notre Dame, to be able to serve all those masters.
And that was the point I was making earlier in the week. Was it earlier in the week or last week? I don't even remember now. But it's not. We use tradition as an excuse to be afraid of change. That's all it is. Notre Dame, in the past, when Notre Dame fails, it uses tradition as an excuse. When Notre Dame succeeds, it embraces change. That's what it does. Rockne embraced change. He took his team on the road and he brought them everywhere. He embraced change. He did something nobody ever did before. He traveled the country. Leahy embraced changed. Leahy changed the way the football team operated in terms of an offense, and he recruited differently than anyone else did. Parsegian embraced change. He's the first coach to come to Notre Dame that wasn't a Notre Dame guy to win there, and he brought just revolutionary ideas of how to do everything. And he took all these players that are on this roster and changed them into different positions. Just embraced change. Everything was change. Holtz embraced change. He brought in he brought in the Prop 42 guys, and he got guys to come to the university that the university would have never let in before. Guys like Chris Zorge and Tony Rice, who turned out to be great, upstanding people. That is embracing change. They did the NBC contract. They were doing something nobody ever did before. And everyone lost their minds when blamed and screamed at Notre Dame when they did it. But then all the conferences at least got together and they all wanted to try to get their own TV contracts. Oh, wait a second. There's actually money in this. Notre Dame wins when it embraces change. That's what our tradition is. That's where it comes from. The winning was the embracing of change.
The other day, somebody said, I bet you Rockney and Lay are rolling over in their graves about all this stuff and these changes. I honestly think the other way, because those guys were on the forefront of pushing it for their era and their time. Both of those guys were on the cutting edge of modernity and upgrading and trying new things and challenging the norms. And Rockney was just getting a lot of that going when the plane went down. Like, I wish they would have got more modern with that plane, but those guys were on the forefront. So I don't know,
Yeah,
but
they're
it's
on
just,
the forefront.
you can't.
And that's exactly what Notre Dame needs to be doing.
You're
and
going to have
Notre
to
Dame
give something to get some. You're not going to be able to just do all of this exactly how you want. You're going to have to give some to get some, man.
Right.
Pat, once we're playing games, nobody's going to mention that SoFi patch again. You know what? No one's going to mention it again. Like, it's just the initial thing.
Even if, and here's my thing. Even if Notre Dame is not playing well, anyone that's going to blame the patch is it all falls at the feet of Marcus Freeman. If this football team, with the expectations it has and the supposed bad schedule it has, all of it falls at the feet of Marcus Freeman. If this football team doesn't come out and blow Wisconsin out and blow everybody out, I mean everybody, there shouldn't be a game close within 10 points, not one game. And I'm including Miami. They better kick the freaking out of them. Everybody. This team has the talent, it has the motivation, and it just has the it factor.
Yeah.
That should be it.
It's it. Oh, I like seeing you get a little worked up there. That's how you know football's coming back, man. When the juices start flowing a little bit like that, Pat, some of these evenings where the humidity's been gone and it's cool, you're outside and you breathe in that air and it has that little fall tinge to it when that humidity's gone. Ooh, we're almost there. Can I talk about camp for a minute, Pat? What's on your mind? You're about a week out. What's important to you? What are you hoping to hear early in camp?
Healthy. That's probably, I'd like to see the running back room get sorted out. I'd like to see, but my biggest thing is the health of the defense. I think this team, CJ Carr's, I have a higher expectation for CJ Carr than I've ever had for any second-year starting quarterback at Notre Dame that I can remember, because this is the first time I've had a second-year starting quarterback at Notre Dame without the last coach. And we saw every second-year starting quarterback went into like a sophomore slump. I don't think that happens this year. I think CJ has a really good year. I'm not going to say CJ lives up to the Heisman hype. There's just a lot of talent out there, and there's a lot of football that needs to be played. But I do think CJ will have a great year. So I'm not worried about CJ. I'm not worried about the running back room. I just want to know who the guys are going to be.
Yeah.
And that might not be something that works itself out in camp. That might be something that just works itself out through the season.
What about the wide receiver situation?
It is what it is, John. It is what it is. And until I have no expectation on the wide receiver room outside of CJ Carr is going to get the ball to them. So they have to catch it and make plays. And whoever it is going to be whoever it is. And that's what it's kind of like the same with the running. But my difference with the running back room is I know everyone goes about losing Love and Price. Thank you. Love. Everyone goes on, losing Love and Price. And I mean, you lost 2 first-round running backs to the NFL draft. Yeah, I don't think it's that hard to reproduce that production. And it may be a running back by committee. It may be one guy. It may be 2 guys, whatever it is. I don't think you're going to struggle to generate a running game. I just want to know who the guys are going to be.
Yeah.
The wide receiver room, it's the same thing. I don't, the production, it matters more, but it's good. We have the guy to get the ball to them. It's going to be who's the guy that catches it. And then what can they do with it after they catch the football? That's my biggest thing.
Let me ask this too. It is fun to ponder all the new faces and new places offensively. What about the defensive side of the ball, man? Are you expecting that defensive line to take a big jump in aggression at and behind the line of scrimmage under Partridge?
If it doesn't, it'll be the biggest disappointment for me.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a better secondary in the country. I know Texas has got some guys, Georgia's got some guys, even Ohio State's got some guys, but man-to-man, position-to-position, I love the idea of Christian Gray on the inside. Him not being alone on a boundary out there. I think that's such a better fit for him. I don't think there's a better secondary in the country. I don't think the linebacker core, if KVA is healthy, maybe Texas has but Texas, it's God, there's just so much talent there. The defensive line is, for me, it's always been what it comes about. The defensive line, and you know how you make sure you have the best secondary in the country, you hit the quarterback and you hit him often. And if they're getting after the quarterback, and I don't care if it's Wisconsin or it's Rice, if you're not hitting their quarterbacks, you're not hitting Miami's quarterback. So we need to get after them. And so let's just get after them and stop the run. So if that defensive line comes out and they're just monsters and they eat people up and they're not having to blitz and put 5 or 6 guys down there to get after the quarterback or stop the run, I don't think anybody beats this football team. That's my thing.
If you were just kind of like building an ideal team from scratch, I think an elite quarterback would have to be like your number one priority because they touch the ball so much and impact so much. I might go to monster D line next as far as what's important winning in the college game. Yep. And you look at who advances in the playoffs and who wins these playoff games. It's usually teams that have really good defensive fronts because nothing can ruin a flashy offense more than they don't have time to run it, right. And everything's messed up and the timing's messed up.
If you're just blowing up run lanes and taking away them passing angles and stuff, because that's like what I'm most excited about is just how tall they are. I think the shortest starter is going to be like 6'3". On the defensive line, they're all so tall. So they're just going to be paws up all day on quarterbacks. If they're not getting to them, it's going to be hard for quarterbacks to get the football out. So it always comes down, college football always comes down to the offensive and defensive line. I think we're solid on the offensive line. I don't have any concern with it. I think the defensive line, if it comes out and meets its expectation, will be one of the best in the country. And I don't see anybody that beats this football team.
Will Black, first-year starter, no experience, a lot of hype. Got to protect CJ.
But he's second year in the program, right? You got to do it at some point. I mean, we've had this conversation about how many great Notre Dame offensive linemen, and they balled out. So I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, this is.
there are people calling for him to start last year from inside that building.
Yeah.
So it's.
Pat, every year is a big year for Notre Dame. It's always a needle mover. The media loves it. Like we all know all the things. It's Notre Dame football is just a big damn deal. Yeah. Does this year not feel uniquely outsized in importance of planting a flag in the ground here? And it just feels bigger than normal for a program that everything they do is already huge and magnified. Am I overdoing that because I'm in this world?
No, I think that's exactly what it is. I think that's exactly what it is. I don't remember an expectation for a Notre Dame team like this.
Yeah.
I don't. I remember Bob Davie, his first year, everyone had super high expectations for him. We know how that turned out.
Number 2 preseason ranking in 2006. That didn't turn out well either.
That was Charlie's second year.
Yeah.
That didn't turn out. And that's when you started to see the effects of Tyrone Willingham's inability to recruit and Charlie Weiss's inability to fill those holes recruiting as well.
Yeah.
So and that's those wheels came off. I don't think Brian Kelly ever had a team that I was as hyped on as this one. Maybe that 2013 team, but that was a dud. This one has this is just I've never felt so hyped. Every position, every player on the field, I talk about the wide receiver room. It's who's going to be the guy. Somebody's going to turn out to be the guy.
It's just a matter of who.
Same thing with the running back room. So it's not a question of is the talent there? The talent's there. Who's going to rise up?
I think you'll get some pushback on that. I think you will still have people in that with the wide receiver thing being like, I don't know if that's going to be quite title winning level production or skill sets from that, or body types even from the wide receiver. I think you'll get some pushback on that one.
I can understand why, and I wouldn't sit there and argue it because I think there's a fair point there. My only perspective is he's worked hard to address the wide receiver room via recruiting and the transfer portal. So there's a lot of new faces in there that we haven't seen before. And there is going to be a quarterback who can get the football to the wide receivers.
Yeah.
And that matters so much. So much. I wonder how many guys had fantastic NFL careers. Like Tom Brady, when he broke onto the scene, he didn't have any Hall of Fame wide receivers, not till like Randy Moss came there because he wanted to go catch for Tom Brady. But Tom Brady was just making guys' careers throwing the football because all they had to do was catch it because Brady was going to get it to him. And I'm not saying I'm not saying CJ Carr is Tom Brady. I'm not saying CJ Carr is Tom Brady, but I'm just saying that, and from what the expectation is for CJ Carr, he's going to get the football to those people, and as long as they catch it, they'll be fine.
Last question I have for you, Pat. Thanks for spending some time this morning. We have waited our entire adult lives to see Notre Dame recruit at the level they're recruiting now. I never thought it would get to this level, even with NIL and those changes. I am sincerely impressed with their talent acquisition process. They are doing a better job than I ever could have dreamed. And I know as a fellow Chicago Catholic League guy, you got to love what they're doing with that pipeline and
they're
finding that town, Brother Rice, and wherever I get them all, St. Pat's, bring them in, baby.
Back. Yeah, they're back on the south side recruiting, and it makes you wonder. And Brian Kelly, Charlie Weiss, Tyrone Willingham, even Bob Davie to an extent, they didn't recruit Chicago.
Yeah,
and I'll never understand. There's some great players that came out of Chicago over that 20 to 30 year period, and those guys, none of those coaches ever really went in there for it, and so. I don't understand why. I mean, you're 90 miles away from that. That is your backyard. There should be a fence around it, and it should be you either come to Notre Dame, or if we don't think you're good enough, you go to U of I or Northwestern.
Yeah. Yep. It's a beautiful thing to see them get back there and have this level of success.
I think, John, one thing I will say is all of the pressure is on Marcus. I don't think the pressure is on the team. I think the team is angry. I think the team is going to play balls to the wall. But there's a ton of pressure on Marcus, and more so, Marcus is going to own it because that's his expectation of it. But I think the coordinators, Ash and Denbrock, have a ton of pressure on them. Ash really does. But the offense, it had up and downs last year. So Denbrock has really got to have an offense that fits CJ Carr and scores points. And I think the last guy on, he talked about red zone offense. So there's a ton of pressure on this coaching, so much pressure on this coaching staff. And I think I have the expectation they rise to the challenge, but I think that's really where it lies.
Oh man, this is going to be another wild ride. And we're a week out. And so we made it through another off season. Pat, thanks for joining me on a Friday.
Later, bud. Have a good show.
Have a good one. Oh man, Pat, he did calm it down. Somebody said Pat came in here, started talking like calm, like sense, and then the chat calmed down. Tex ND, what's up, buddy? Long time no chats.
Johnny, what's going on, buddy? Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's a little distant, but it's not bad.
I got these new headphones. Hopefully it's all right. Any better?
Yeah, you're okay.
How you doing, brother?
I'm ready. It's been a long off season and very frustrating, and we're ready to get to what comes next. I need data. I need information, not theory and not what ifs.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I'm ready. I've been ready. You know, I just stepped out for a little bit, had a few life changes that took place over the off season, and I'm thankful that it was over the off season and not in season. So I'm ready to go. But man, I tell you what, I haven't been as up in arms about all the stuff that's going on, and in terms of the patch and the sponsorship with SoFi and the logo
well, now you're a businessman. Do you just look at this as like Notre Dame operating in the modern world and making it work for them, and like you move with the times and get ahead of them when you can? Is it that simple?
I think it is, but I think this is like a damned if you do and damned if you don't. I think it says a lot. Hey, the two biggest brands in college football right now came out with this thing, and obviously that will matriculate down to all the other programs. Certainly the blue bloods and the big programs, and then ultimately the smaller programs and smaller schools, MAC schools, all that stuff. But for once, if you look at it on the positive side, Notre Dame's leading the way, and we announced a huge deal with a huge company, and everybody else will do it. And so if we weren't doing it, eventually we would have to do it. And then at that point in time, the pool of potential suitors in terms of sponsorship companies, sponsors would be limited. So, if we waited, maybe we're getting a smaller brand, maybe we're getting a smaller deal. So I think I'd rather just be out in front, and at the same time, like I have very little emotional equity to spend in the off season. Like I try not to get too worked up in the off season because I get so worked up in season. I try not to put too much into it because, man, like we're talking about patches and logos right now, but in the season, dude, we'll be winning by 30 and complaining that we didn't score enough. You know what I mean? So yeah. It's going to be something. I'll save it. I'll save it for in season as opposed to right now. But I think we're leading the way. I think it's going to happen in terms of the logo. I think it's exactly what Pat said. Like it's everybody's trying to figure out how to maximize revenue. And man, I mean, if you think about the logo itself, whether we like it or dislike it, a leprechaun that is sport specific, that now has basketball merch, baseball merch, hockey merch, you know what I mean? Like literally everything. So everybody from every sport that follows Notre Dame and follows those specific sports will have to get new gear specific to their sport, right? Not just anything Notre Dame with the fighting leprechaun. Now they're going to have to get the sport specific leprechaun. So it's definitely a money grab for sure. I don't see it as anything else. It's we're paying for the NIL, and Notre Dame wants to keep their endowment where it is and let everything else pay for it. And I think that's what's happening.
If you're gonna do it, then you may as well do it better than anyone else and get the biggest deal in the country. It is a real compliment to the brand reach of Notre Dame that if you're going down this path, you can command the number one amount of money of anybody doing this. Like, regardless of if you like it or it's against your values or whatever else, that's a good sign, man. Like Notre Dame's built this brand over 100 and however many 50 years or whatever. Like I get them leaning in and reaping the rewards of that.
I mean, did I read? And I thought I did, but man, like I said, you're doing so much, you're consuming so much. The season's about to start. You're all uppity about it. But I think I read like Notre Dame's deal with SoFi was $20 million just to us, but then there was Monster that had a big deal with the Big 12, and that deal was was it $12 million, but I think sparsed out to the whole of the Big 12. So I mean, again, everybody wants to talk about independence. Like we're getting 20 million just for us. Big 12 is getting 12 million to split amongst themselves and all the schools. I just don't see every time something like this happens, it makes the irrelevant independence argument go away even further.
Yeah, it's man, it's just, and the other thing too is like Pat and I were talking about, all of this kind of stuff is off-season talking points because you're in the off-season. Once we get into games, nobody's going to care about that SoFi patch. I guarantee it. You're not going to hear about it again. Like but I understand Notre Dame's so tradition and historical based. Any changes are going to ruffle some feathers, including mine. And then you just got to remind yourself, this is the modern world. You got to be in it to win it. You got to partake like this. You can't have it all. You can't never adapt and expect to like win in the new times. Like it is what it is to a large extent.
If we start out really, really bad, people will be complaining like crazy about it. And of course, Pat said, and I'll go back because Pat covered a lot of points, but people will blame that, not rightfully so, but they will blame that. And I still say, like, last year's running Leprechaun was the worst logo rollout of all time because they rolled it out and then immediately went 0-2 and was, just all around terrible. I'm sure that last year's start of the season just kind of decimated what the projections were revenue-wise for that logo. I have no doubt.
Yeah, it's man, it's just everything with Notre Dame is so magnified. It is unbelievable. Just the opinions and everything Notre Dame does is under the microscope. It's exactly what you want. It's exactly what you want. So I don't know, man. What are you thinking as camp starts? What's on your mind? We got about a week.
I'm ready, man. I think I got a few questions, but all in all, I think we're gonna be good, man. We got a deep roster. We got we're at the point now to where, we should have freshmen that are able to contribute in a big way. I mean, we have, the most 5 stars we've had over a very long period of time. So I think we got talent, we got a roster, we have depth, we have experience, we have a little bit of everything, and we're fairly deep. I think a lot of people talk about KVA, but we still got a lot of guys in that room. I mean, I know we're talking about Bowen, but we still got Sneed. We got I don't know why his name always slips for me. The other linebacker that stayed for his last year as well.
Yeah, and you have I also think there's a chance Madden Faremo could take a big jump forward this year too. It could be a big season for him too to step up.
Yeah, I think the D-line is going to be fantastic. I mean, there's no reason why they shouldn't be, unless Partridge really kind of just craps out in terms of his development, but with the talent that he's brought in.
He's not crapping out on the recruiting trail. It's a good sign so far because every other week you're landing a 4 or 5 star defensive lineman. So he isn't crapping out there. I love what I've seen so far.
Yeah. And the linebacker I was thinking about was Osbury, but and in terms of like the Will Black thing, I'm going to go back to just kind of, everybody's kind of talking about Will Black and the protection thing and specifically against Wisconsin. I believe that what Will Black is going up against in practice every day in terms of Traore, Healy, Young, and the other edges that we have are better than the talent that he's going to see on the edge at Wisconsin. So I think that Will Black will be just fine. I think that he's going to do a great job. And I think our O-line is going to be, this is what everybody's been asking for, right? Everybody's been wanting Knapp to move into guard. They've been complaining about it since he started at tackle. Now he's going to move into guard. We're moving somebody else towards to tackle, and everybody's going to complain who's that tackle. You know what I mean? Like it's time for the season to start. It's time for us to, like you said, start collecting that data and let's see what we got. I'm ready, man. I'm ready for a strong September. We haven't had a strong September in a really long time, and I think if we could start strong with everything that we have, Marcus Freeman tends to play downhill as the season progresses. And so I think we're ready, man. I think I've always said our window was 26 and 27 anyway. I didn't think last year was going to be our year. Carr coming in, being a new quarterback, a lot of changes, all that stuff. I think this is our year. I think we are in a good, now with our recruiting classes, probably the next 3 or 4 year window. I know people say like we could win a few, and I think we could. I think we could win 1 or 2 in the next, 2 to 4 years. With what we're bringing in and the consistency that we're seeing. If we can keep the coordinators and continue to bring in the talent, I think we're good to win it all, if not once, at least twice.
Yeah, it's man, it just feels like there's a lot of things lining up in Notre Dame's favor that normally are not this year. It's a huge opportunity. Freeman knows that. I think everybody's gearing up for this. They know what's in front of them and what a big opportunity it is. So it's going to be a pressure packed dynamic, and you better just take advantage of what is perceived to be a lighter schedule in the first half of the season to gain momentum.
Yeah, and think like who's not talking about Notre Dame right now? Like whether it's Sarkisian, whether it's Riley, you got the Texas Tech coach that comes. Like in the offseason, how many head coaches of other programs haven't spoken about Notre Dame? Not many. Like everybody talks about Notre Dame all the time, whether it's what they do like or what they don't like. I mean, mostly it's what they don't like. But man, I mean, you got Dabo talking about our money print machine and Sarkisian talking about us, and of course Riley can't stop talking about us because he needs us.
That's a good point, man. It's Notre Dame moves the needle. My next question for you is: you going to be able to make it to any games this year, or what's the plan?
I got 2 tickets to Rice, kind of already in the works, and I'm glad you brought it up because it was on my notes for you. I know that every tailgate gets bigger, every tailgate gets better, and there's always a larger group of people that kind of come in and then kind of join the brotherhood that is the always Irish tailgate family. What's the plans for this year? I mean, you guys, I know you probably haven't started figuring it out, but are we doing a Friday night? Are you going to stay and watch the game and do something post game? Like, what are you thinking for Rice?
Still trying to figure it out. I don't know whether we're just coming in early Saturday morning or if I'll be there Friday too. I'm still trying to figure that out. My brother coming from Florida, so we're still trying to finalize some of the details. I'll let people know. Yeah, I did get tickets. Sometimes I don't go in the game just because it's so chaotic on those days. But to honor Lou, the first home game since he's passed, like all of the family's going. So I got tickets for everybody. So we're gonna go. We're definitely gonna go in the game.
Yeah, depending on how the season starts out, last year certainly going 0-2, you could have come to the tailgate and you would have had that Lou Holtz build because you lost 18 pounds. This would be a great year to come and just dress like Lou Holtz, put some glasses on, the hat, the jacket. You have the Lou Holtz jacket, right?
I got the jacket, man. I'll give me some all black, low top Reebok shoes, wear them out to the tailgate.
Dude, you're if you don't come to the tailgate as Lou Holtz, you're missing out, dude.
You know what? It's actually a pretty good idea. It's a pretty good idea. So I don't know, man. I'm excited to get it all going. I've been thinking about this ever since everything that happened last year. It's been on our minds. It's been a long off season. We're just ready to get it going.
Yeah, and I'll throw this out there because I know you're, and I love that the calls have been going a little bit longer, so you can see that the season's about to start, and I appreciate that. But I'll throw this out there for you, Johnny. For Andrew coming up from Florida. And for those of you in the chat that are part of the groups that we have, I'm going to start looking up airfare and transportation to the Rice game, most likely coming in Friday night or probably Friday morning, getting to Notre Dame Friday afternoon. So I'm going to start looking at lodging and transportation. So if anybody's coming in to O'Hare on Friday and wants to kind of carpool, we can carpool over to the stadium. I'm also going to start looking at some Airbnbs, and depending upon what the interest is, it's always easier to get bigger, cooler places with a bunch of people than it is to kind of get these like one or 2 bedroom spots with turds on the floor. So hopefully we could get something pretty good. But if anybody's interested, reach out to Johnny, get my info from Johnny if you don't have it already. And maybe we could plan something where Friday night we could, either get together at the bar for a little bit, and then afterwards we can all have a place to go, or something do after the tailgate, after the game on Saturday night. For everybody to be together and talk shop.
Well, we'll figure it out. I'll let everybody know what the plan is, and we'll get it going, man. Hey, it's good to hear from you, brother. It's been a while. Can't wait to see you soon.
Yeah, man. Give my best to the family. I hope. I'm sure we're going to see your mom, and we'll see Tim, and like you said, Andrew's probably coming up. And I'll be remiss if I didn't ask how's Andrew's new baby doing.
Yep, they're all good, man. They're all good. My parents are going to Florida right now. Actually, they're driving. They'll be down there until the day before the tailgate. So they're going to spend some time in Florida and then head back up just time for the football.
Well, hit me up, dude, because I'm going to start powering up the printer and start getting a bunch of crap for Notre Dame stuff. So if we're doing some giveaways and we need to start doing some contributions to the Always Irish raffle fund, then let me know. I can start printing up some stuff so we're not kind of doing it all last minute.
Fantastic, man. Really, really appreciate you. And we'll see you soon.
Johnny, have a great one, man. We'll talk soon. Always appreciate you.
Good one. Man, I love it when people take a little break and then they come back. Like, take a little summer break. There's always these people that'll do that. God bless you. And then come back right when things crank up. This is interesting from Tattoo MD. Would you part ways with Freeman if he delivered a title? Would you make that trade? Yes. Yes. Otherwise, what are you doing? Like, ask yourself that. If you're saying no, ask yourself this. If you're saying no to this, it means you would rather what? Be pretty good, be very good, but not win a title, and then like maybe next year forever? Like think about what you're asking. The goal of all this is to win the championship. Why would you turn that down to have more years of not winning the championship? Am I thinking of this clearly? But like, if you presented that, the answer is yes, because the goal is to win a title, not be very good for a long time. The idea is to win a title. I would rather have one title and then drop back to 9-3 for a couple years than to go 11-1 and not win the title ever. Titles live forever. That's what this is all about. Not being very good or pretty good for a long time. Titles are what it's all about. Titles get you a statue. Titles get you a statue. You live forever at Notre Dame if you win that championship. But yes, give me the title and then we'll deal with what happens. I'm not trying to be very good for a long time and never get another title. So that's where I'm at on that. The interesting thing would be, let's say Notre Dame wins a title soon. Does that make it more or less likely that Freeman leaves or stays? You could make an argument that if Freeman wins the title, it'd be, okay, nothing else to accomplish at Notre Dame. I'm already a legend forever. I could live off that forever. I'm getting a statue at the entrance. Now I'm going to look into the next challenge of the NFL and whatever else. I have nothing else to do here. So I could see a title leading him to the NFL. I could also see it going the other way. Now it's about building that legacy. You get the big monkey off Notre Dame's back of like not winning since 88. You finally get one. Then I could see him start thinking about legacy, man. All that pressure to get that next Notre Dame titles off of you. And then it's like, can we build a dynasty here? Can I get 2 or 3 of these things? So I don't know which way that road would lead Freeman. But I'll tell you this, I'll sign up to have that complaint. I'll sign up to have that worry. I will sign up to have that worry to be like, Notre Dame has won a championship and now I need to worry about what the head coach is going to do. Yes, sign me up for that problem, please. Sign me up for that problem, please. So but I'm not, this question, I'm not trying to be very good and not win a title for the next 10 years. That's not what this is about at Notre Dame. Give me the title and I'll deal with whatever else has to come. Here's my answer to this. I'll go back to it. Domer Wap, $10. Just found out tonight's round 2. Mark with glasses and Coach Hyde in the X Spaces. If you weren't there last week, was a blast. Seems like they're at it again, 9 Eastern. Be over there. Some of the Always Irish crew. I have a very specific answer to this. Lou as a statue for real? For what? A title? Just ask. I don't know. What are you new here or what? The guys that won titles have statues at the entrances of the stadium. There's the Frank Gate, the Leahy Gate. What do you mean? Come on, man. Irish for life. I remember when the video board and the sound system was put in, the wine and cheese crowd went ballistic. They got over it. Here was my reaction when people were asking, what do I think about, I liked how Notre Dame held out. You could hear the band and everything, trombones, and they didn't have, then you could soak in the scenes and not be distracted by this obnoxious jumbotron. Here was my response to that. The Notre Dame home stadium experience got lame for a while. And my argument was, I know that jumbotron is going to insert a little bit more life and energy into that stadium. And I thought Notre Dame needed that at the time. There was, towards the, like, you're not an elite program and you have a 7-minute NBC TV timeout and you're sitting there in that stadium. You could hear crickets, bro. You could hear crickets in there, man. Like, it was quiet. So my argument was, like, I could make the argument that the jumbotron helps make it more likely the team's going to win, or like just by creating more energy in that building with what they're doing. But the NBC TV timeouts are so long. You know what it is if you're my age. Before the jumbotron, you had wood splinters in your jeans from the seats. And then during the TV timeout, they'd go, we'd like to honor the 1952 track team. And they would go out there, and then that's it. And everybody just sat there. They just sat there. So that was my argument in favor of, like, not in favor, but not like hating the jumbotron thing. Was you needed some more energy in there, and that does kind of manufacture it. Friday night, are you talking about tonight or Friday night of Rice? What are we talking about? Still got to figure out what the plan is for the week of the actual tailgate. All right, you guys, that's going to be it. Fun 2-hour, 15-minute show. We're starting to get a mix. I really like that. Starting to get a mix of some different colors, some people coming out of hibernation, get back into the show. Pat's getting wrapped back in, like people are starting to feel it, and they're starting to come back. They're starting to come back. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So thank you guys for being here. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks for the donations. Thanks for the views. Thanks for the chats. Thanks for joining. Have a good weekend.